just looking at this channel here on the ES, man, it's just no volume. Everything died today. Obviously, there was just a tap right, or actually it went right through support. Once it went through support, that was it. Game was over. All right, so let me take a look here. I want to show you guys a chart that I was looking at this morning on the ES. So let's see if I could pull it up here. I know I got stuff everywhere here. Okay, so let's see here. Support was supposed to be. I drew it out this morning. Let's see if I can find it. Yeah. So there it is. I had to get it green. So as you can see here on the ES this morning, this is a 1 minute. Let me just kind of get this something we can see nicely. So right here was your support. This whole level right here at 45.50s. That was your level. 45.52, 45.53, somewhere in there. That was your level. And so what I was doing was I was watching this on a smaller time frame. I didn't take the trade. I should have. But I thought, oh, it's just going to drop below and then buyers are going to come back in. Wow, what a move today. So I watched it, and what I'll do is I'm gonna zoom in here, a smaller time frame, and I'll show you what I was looking at. So let's go to the 1 minute, and I will go right up here. So it was like pre-market. So yeah, pre-market. This thing came in here, and sorry, over here. See, I was drawing on my lines. So it came up, it tapped it here. I was looking at it, I was like, okay, well, we'll see what happens. And it's kind of chugging along, came back up, retested this area. And once it got in here, honestly, I should have shorted it. I should have probably shorted it right below this green candle that came up into the 45.50 level. And then this one just rejected it. Yeah, it came back up, but I was thinking it was gonna come back up and then pop another green over this one. But what I should have done, in hindsight, is just gotten short at like 49. Who cares? Whatever, and just basically a couple points. Give it a couple points. Give it up to like the 53s or so. So like pretty much right there at 45.53. Then it'd be like, all right, it's probably gonna turn around and reverse. But it came up and it was pre-market just before like everything started kind of getting moving, and I decided, I'm just gonna stay out of it. And it's grind. It was slow. It was just kind of a dollar move. Stair stepping down, small, a little bump up. And so I didn't get in. And now look at this move. So this thing just cracked right there. So 630, so came in, came down, pop, hit it, rejected it, came along again, retested it again, because I like to have it break, retest, and then fade. And that's exactly what it did all day. All day long. Such a nice move. I mean, look at this thing. Trashed. Now it's in the 18s. Let's get back to the 18s. It's starting to pump up a little here. Let's see what happens. This thing's weak. There's no volume. Weak, weak, weak. I mean, all the volume, sorta, was at the beginning of the day. Even then, weak. Not very much volume, but this would be a good one. Just get short at like 1750, and then we'll just risk to the high of this candle. So what I'll do is, there's my top step. All right, so I'm waiting for a pullback on this one. It kind of looks like it's breaking out a little bit here, but out of this range, it still needs to get past like 1875. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna wait. There might be a pop and then a drop, so I'm watching it. Also, let me get the deltas up here. Let's see. So looks like delta strong, delta strong, delta strong, delta strong. 1875. See, the delta is too strong for me to want to just short that. Plus, I'm looking at my charts on another monitor, but I don't mind having a starter. Like, I'll throw a starter in there. Yeah, maybe above. Yeah, up there. There, the negatives are coming in now. See, negative delta. Now it starts to pull back. That means that there's sellers that are coming in now, and they're making it pull back. And they're probably just going to drop out everybody who thought, it could. What you do is you want to get an imbalance. I mean, there's not very much volume, but ideally, what you'd like to get is an imbalance of, in this case, buyers. Like, you want them kind of stacking in, but then all of a sudden, then the sellers come in and smack it down. And then those buyers thought there was going to be a breakout out of this range, and they freak out because maybe they got in too big or whatever their psychological reason is, and then they get out. So for me, I would rather. I mean, the delta is pretty negative here, like 200 and something. That's significantly negative. And then if it continues, but see, that could also go green. Delta, delta, green, green, delta, meaning more buyers. And then, they sell, but that's profit taking too, potentially, which is the pullback. And then more buyers come in after that pullback and they buy more. And then all the shorts that go, I'll risk it until this area, so I'm going to get out. Risk here because it's going to potentially pop right over this, but could be a pop and drop. Now, also, something to keep in account here. This is the volume weighted average here. So you got to watch out for there's not very many buyers in this area. Look how low the volume is for buyers in here. So, yeah, you're getting some in now. And it popped over that 45, 18, 75. But now you got some negative delta coming in, smacking it down, like me. Like, I'll be all, okay, here. And I'll smack it down. I'm going to do 5 contracts right there, just to see if I can get a quick snap back and pull down. I got to take a look at my charts here to see where we're at. 1925 is the best, so I took 5 contracts, the ES here in Top Step. This is my trading combine. I'm building up I got a $150,000 account on this one. It's up a few dollars. Let's see here. There's the account there. So we'll see what happens. It looks like there's a little tug of war going here, But if you're thinking this thing's going to break out and then it flushes, you're going to world of hurt, but it can go the other way as well. So I see, and then now you're the long, you're getting stuck. Of course, you're going to get the hell out, right? And I'm scalping, so I'm just going to take what I got. Right here, I'll just take off, I'll take off like 3 contracts. I gotta watch the delta though. So the delta is pretty negative, right? Pretty high in negative delta. So as it comes down, watching it. If I see this thing start to really pop back up, I'll get out. And then I also might just take some contracts off, and then I'll do like here, I'll take off 3 contracts there, which I just did. And now what I'll do is I'll just break even on the rest. So I can go break even on my 2 right here. So now there's nothing really, if it pops back up and knocks me out, yeah, that's cool. I mean, it is what it is. But if I left a little piece on, like, okay, yeah, I could pull my $100 and tighten it up. Or if this thing continues to pull down, all of a sudden it flushes, then that could be a pretty strong winner. And if you don't feel comfortable with that, I could always just cancel my order and buy 1 contract out. Like, it's probably gonna knock me out. It looks like it's going to. It's gonna stop me out because look at this delta. This delta is going up. That's pretty high. That's some pretty high delta. But don't get too faked out by that delta, because remember, that whole area could just get snapped and come right back down. So all these buyers get trapped once again, and then they get stuck, and then they have to come back down. So this could also be not just buyers, but people that just scalped like this move, like I just did. They came in, they bought contracts, and so it popped, and then really there's no one there to buy. Let me get this. What I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in an additional screen to show you. Oh, I had it. Here, I'll just get in. I'll bring in one of the TD machine, Merit-Trade ones. The Thinkorswim. Alright, so see how this like snapped down from the 18s down to 17s and then down to the 16s. This is kind of bad because it's so small. But it's also hitting averages and all that stuff, so it could just pop right back up and out. We'll see. But I have, you know what I have on for my stop out position. It's at 1850 or so, 1825. Yeah, look. So shrink this up again. So here's my little piece I left on, right? All the way down here. Remember it was at 100, and I was like, oh no, it's at 100. I mean, what? Maybe I want to start shaving some off, right? This is the mini. Let me get the ES up. So remember, I shorted right there, as you can see. I came in, I shorted, and then I left a couple contracts on. But look at over here. It broke this little support over here too as well. You always got to look left. So now we're down to the 16s. Getting down in here. Instead of like thinking this is going to break down past here, which it could, then you could also take one off there, right? So now I'm going to grab one of my contracts. I'm at 250 here roughly, so I'll put it on the bid. Oh, 16. I'll take one off at 16. Hopefully I get filled. And if it really starts going against me, I can just go okay and then hit the ask if I want to. But we'll see. You got negative delta, more negative delta. Okay, I got covered. My contract got covered. You got to watch out because I have two up here, right? So I got to cancel that order. You know, it looks like it's coming back. So I'm just going to probably take the profit here. Because that's kind of a little area. Here, I'll take it off. So I just profited on those 5 contracts. It's probably going to come right back up. Oh, here we go. So looking over here at the delta, it's green. Positive delta. More buyers are stepping up. I mean, for now, right? Maybe they're covering. Maybe it just gets slammed. But taking a look at the chart again. So I got out down here around here. But look at this. Why would I get out? I mean, if you look at it, it's pretty obvious. We're range bound, right? So this little area right here, that little area right there is going to be your support for this little range bound move, right? So of course it goes up, comes back down, pop, pop, goes up. So you just edit the property. Just call that like a little green spot. For support, buyers will come in and buy that, right? So that's what we got. So now they come in, they buy, it bounces, comes back up. But now what we got to start thinking about is this. Look at this little line right now where I'm at. So what you got to think about is this area, like here, definitely here. I'd say here, right there. So watch that little area right there. And then also watch this little area right here. This could be another supply zone. They're small, they're mini, they're quiet, they're not big. But if that's going to reject, you have a good idea of where you're going to play, right? So this is the cool thing about trading is everybody always wants a strategy. They always want something to be able to do. Just straight support and resistance. I mean, don't mess around in the middle so much. I mean, you can get in if you're like, okay, well, I got in a little late. That's fine. Understand your risk. Understand where you're going. And you're going to, down to where you want to be. So this one would have come up and took me out, right? I would have broken out a few. I would have actually lost whatever I would have left on. So this one is coming up to see how this thing closes. But we're also going to be watching this area. So here, what I'd like to do again is I'm going to draw this as a supply area. Okay, so now I'll make that pink. Okay, it's very tight range. Obviously, this is super small. We're playing very small ball, no volume, all that stuff, right? Okay, so right now we know that the largest point in this one is going to be, or the highest candle is going to be 45, 19, 25. So we just got to wait for this in here to show that it's weak. So these wicks up. Okay. Then it's coming right back down. We'll see. So you can get in here if you wanted to, but also I'm watching the MACD. So that's showing that the buy volume has been increasing. You want to see this thing start to decrease. But then I'm also trying to watch the delta levels as well. Trying to grab this thing. It's just good to watch. Let's look to see what we're doing over here. We got a little bit of red, but not a lot. Not a lot of, not a big wall of sellers that we could see. I mean, this is the imbalance percentage right here. And you still have a small positive delta, meaning they're buying it, they're buying it, they're buying it. But it is showing a very small pullback. But that could also be a bull flag. So you got to be very careful, because then it could start ripping right back up. Big delta moves in, everybody starts buying. The shorts right here in this area get squeezed because they're like, okay, I'm only going to the top of this range, like we just had. And as you can see, it's kind of trading sideways on the 1 minute. Still not a bad spot, I mean, to short, because you know your risk is super low. Very, very low. I mean, look at that. It's already starting to pull. You got some negative delta coming in now. It's that cat and mouse game. You got positive delta, but it's still kind of going down. Look at this. You got no buyers in this area. The volume profile, I don't know if I may have misspoke earlier. The volume profile here is not showing very many people or traders or algos or whatever's interested in buying in this area. This area is dead. Dead. Look at that. No one in here to buy. They're right here to buy a little more. But that's, and then also they go down to the 16. All the way back down to 16 again. I could have shorted that again. Same exact move. Again. Here it is. It came up. Didn't even come to our stop out. Could have shorted it again. It's like a double little top. Came back up, came down. But now watch this. What we have to do is watch this though. Gotta keep in mind that we are trending upward a little bit here. But then also I'd keep in mind this. So what do we see? What do we see here? There's that, and then there's the bottom of low of the day. I don't think this is going to be one big reversal today, I'll tell you that. But now you came down to here again, and then you had this right in this area here. Starting to tap that line of support on the bottom here. It's going through. Wow. These are all little support zones. So now, if we go back to our other chart we had, it broke below the little supply zone there, or the little that was buying. And also take a look at the MACD in the bottom here. Now to reclaim this, you could always risk till roughly 14 or 14, and then just wait for the break of this next candle here, the new high. So 1550 entry, and then risking to a dollar basically, and then that should be for a little quick reversal bump back up, just a scalp. That's all it's gonna be, is a scalp like that. Just gonna sit back and watch this one bump up a little bit here, but remember what that entry was. That entry was for that next 1 minute to make a new high, and it did right there. Your risk was down to here, nothing crazy. But if you did take large size, you can make a pretty decent amount of money, and you'll know you're in. You know when you're gonna be out, and then you know where the supply area is up here, as far as where you should probably sell before it in case it doesn't make it back up in that supply zone. So I'm watching the bottom here. Not trying to bottom pick, but what I'd like to see is a green candle close, and then another green candle to make a new high over that first green candle for the reversal. Also, I'd like to be watching for this delta. I'm watching the bottom here. And the delta needs to be positive in here. Because right now it's just super negative, but that's okay. And then I'm just going to let it pull down, do its thing. Hopefully calm down, but could get more delta. But right now, the delta is finally starting to dry up. Like right now, it wouldn't be a bad spot to just go and start getting in long. I missed. That's not very fun. Okay, well, I tried to get in a couple ticks below that. That's kind of unfortunate, but we'll see. Looking at the delta's getting positive. It's getting super positive. In the 200s at least, it's not negative anymore. So that means some buyers are stepping in. Now you need to see that volume come in, and it's gonna be a reversal off the lows is ideal for me right now. I didn't want to get in that high. For some reason, it moved on me, and that's okay. It is what it is. I could buy right here and average in. I think there's going to be a pop, but you just don't know. It could be just a quick pop and then drop. But that delta is looking good. At least it was right there. So now it's negative again. That's the thing. I got to keep following up with this, or else it'll go against me. It's getting bought up. Just going to be patient here. This is trying to I'm not trying to bottom pick, but I'm trying to bottom pick, if you know what I mean. So this area it's funny because I shorted it perfectly right here, but I went long. I just don't want to give back too much of the profits here because I am trading the combine. Yeah, see, my entry was terrible. I'm going to give it a minute because it's just so low. It's so close to the lows. Hoping some buyers will come in and think it's a value buy and just to bump it back up. But I gotta watch this delta. It's all negative. It's not going to help me at all. Ooh. There we go. Little bump back up. Once we get one of these to turn green, that's going to help me. Over 925, so 45,925 is going to be the pop, is what I'm thinking. Because then you get buyers come in. Watching the delta's turning positive. There it goes. There's the pop. Maybe a little more to get some more buyers to help it pop. It's just struggling. I hope it's not a bear flag. So yeah, that's the pop. I'm going to shorten up here. Hopefully I can get one more pop back in there because it pulled back down. The delta's getting negative. That's not going to help me. Nope, not at all. Not at all. It's gonna catch me on the wrong side. Ooh, bad. Negative delta. It's a terrible spot to be in, especially when I grabbed 15 contracts. Man, this thing just wipe out. That's some serious negative delta. I think the positive is going to step up here. So I got to hold tight. Just to even up. I mean, that'd be nice. Nope. It's not going to work. I gotta get out. Just getting hammered down to the low side there. You know what happens is you get out and then all of a sudden it's going to start going back up. Just like that. Now some deltas, positive deltas coming in. Of course it comes back. Oh man. So there's that new, makes a new high. That wick doesn't help. Some positive delta coming in. Not a lot. Could potentially build. There's that new. Those things. But now that it might hold resistance here, this line, right there at the 07s. I'm gonna get out of that. Could have stayed solvent. That would have been nice.